Yippee! Hey!
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Danse, balance sur la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Hello and welcome to Edinboro Television. I'm Drew Patrick.
And I'm Tracy Gabel. This is your weekly news update.
Edinboro University opened up a new institute that would aid law enforcement investigations and give students a hands-on experience in forensics. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to find out more on this story. The Edinboro Institute for Forensic Sciences was launched earlier this month and has brought new light on forensic science and the opportunities it will bring for Edinboro students with specific majors.
It's multidisciplinary, so we're drawing on faculty from a variety of different disciplines, from art, from criminal justice, and from anthropology. And we're hoping to bring in even more of the faculty across Edinboro that have expertise in forensic sciences.
In order to be eligible for the Institute, students can take a minor in forensic sciences, or if they are freshmen, they can select classes that will help them complete requirements to gain access to the Forensic Institute.
We also want to be a resource to local crime and law enforcement and to other professionals. So we want to offer professional training opportunities through the Institute.
Barbian also said that a minor in forensic science will be introduced using the new institute.
The classes right now, there's really only one class that we're offering that's technically not part of another department, and it will be offered under a forensic sciences prefix, and that is Introduction to Forensic Sciences. And so that'll give you a broad overview about the forensic sciences, the history of forensic sciences, ethics in forensic sciences, and that we see that as really kind of a jumping off point that you then get involved with the rest of the minor.
President Woolman spoke on the Edinboro Institute of Forensic Science during her listening hour early this month.
And it's something that I've really wanted to do since I got here and realized all the different areas that we have related to forensics and how strong we are in those areas, with some of these people really being national.
For ETV, I'm Drew Patrick.
The FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid workshops, will be available on campus throughout the next month to help students fill out the form. Sessions are available on Saturday, February 21st and 28th, as well as March 14th inside the computer lab at Hamilton Hall. Additionally, the Perico campus offers sessions on Wednesday, February 25th at the Barn Computer Lab and Saturday, March 7th at the Garden House. Those attending these meetings need to bring their FAFSA PIN, social security number, and tax information, as well as their parents' information if applicable. While the FAFSA can be accepted later than the preferred deadline, it is March 15th.
Edinboro alumnus Brenda Vester spoke to business majors about career management as part of the School of Business's Employer Speaker Series sponsored by Delta Mu Delta. Vester met with students at Hendricks Hall to talk about business landscapes, trends, career management mindsets, and practices for managing careers. Vester is currently the Vice President of Client Relations for the Lee Hecht Harrison's Pittsburgh office, and for the past 5 years has managed local and global accounts for their offices. She graduated from Edinboro in 1993.
Media professionals collaborated with campus media representatives during the Changing Technologies Media Panel last Thursday. Panelists discussed topics such as how social media is key to keeping viewers up to date on news and keeping them safe.
Coming up, we have a look at the recent Bruce Gallery exhibit and how Edinboro has their own version of American Idol. Stay right here.
I got no pulse, so losing.
Charging. He's in V-Fit.
Shocking. Drugs are real all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We're just buzzed. Just buzzed. You didn't tell.
Hey, good game. Oh, there he is. Great game, man.
Let's go get a win!
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Danse, balance-tu la cadence, on lève bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex? Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Amalia Agatatis is an art exhibit currently on display at the Bruce Gallery. Taylor Buffington has more.
At the Bruce
He
Gallery
spoke with the gallery director, Justice Cotterill.
On display at the Bruce Gallery in Doucette Hall, there is an art exhibit in Amalia Agatatis. I spoke to the Bruce Gallery director, Justice Cotterill, about this exhibit.
It was very different than a lot of the work that's being made on this campus, so I think it created a lot of conversation.
Cotterill mentioned that he had to go down to Pittsburgh and bring the work from the exhibit here.
We have a great staff. We have graduate assistants that help, and they help hang the show, and they do a fantastic job. So it's a team effort.
I also asked Cotterill how the exhibit is going to impact the people who visit it.
You always hope, you hope that it connects with people, or it gets them talking. Maybe it's something that they don't like, but at least there's a reaction.
This exhibit is currently on display in the Bruce Gallery now through February 28th. This is Taylor Buffington
From
for
now
ETV.
until April 14th, volunteer income tax assistant Vita will be available to students on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings from 4 to 8 p.m. in room 104 at the Wiley Arts and Science Center. Vita helps anyone who earns less than $53,000 a year, the disabled, the elderly, and those who struggle speaking English. Taxes are due April 15th.
Borough Idol is back in the borough, and talent is coming from across campus. Sierra Smith has more on the story.
Last Wednesday and Thursday night held the opening auditions of Edinboro Idol. EUP students were encouraged to share their singing talents in a closed audition located in the Frank G. Polk Student Center. Competitors sang in front of 2 musically inclined judges and were encouraged to do their best. The contestants hoped that their only performance would be enough to push them into the top 16 to be able to compete in the official competition.
I've been singing since I was wee little, and my mom and I have always had a super big passion for singing, so I try and convey that through my music.
This will be Edinboro Idol's 3rd year of running after a multi-year hiatus, but host Ray Youngblood has high expectations for this season and is excited to bring the competition back to the borough.
I'm really excited to see exactly what this year can do and what the new kids can bring to the table. Trying to find my judges. It was actually a really big critique for me from when I did it before. And so this time around, I really made sure to find people who had musical backgrounds, had musical talents, and were actually able to appropriately judge the contestants.
The official competition with the top 16 contestants will begin this Tuesday at 9 p.m. in the multipurpose room. For more updates and information, log on to Facebook and type in your search engine, Edinboro Idol. Reporting for Edinboro Television, I'm Sierra Smith.
Coming up, we have your weekly weather forecast, followed by your global news report. Stay right here.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Danse, balance sur la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence. Dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou, ton
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Bring this sweet.
Hey, good game.
Oh, there we go. Great game, man.
Let's go get a win!
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
Listen, I know you're upset, but it was just one date. And dating's like the stock market. There's ups and downs and ups and so always buy low.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Good evening, Edinboro. My name is Jeremy Schreck, and I'm here with your weekly weather forecast. You know what really grinds my gears? All the cold weather we've been getting. Like, out of the whole nation, all we have is a high pressure zone where all we're getting is cold. So let's take a closer look at Pennsylvania. See, you can see all of this. We're slap dab in the middle of the high pressure zone, and just cold air everywhere. We're not going to get much more than that for a while, so make sure you're bundled up and ready for the cold. So let's take a look at some of the temperatures throughout the nation. Over here on the West Coast, all we have is a lot of higher temperatures, while we're right here in the Arctic mass zone, where we're just getting cold temperatures nonstop. So you can see that. So let's take a look at the week ahead. And for our week ahead, on Tuesday we have a high of 17 and a low of 8. And throughout the rest of the week, it's going to just be getting colder, with a high of 15 on Wednesday and a low of -1. So your lows are going to be in the negatives throughout the rest of the week. And now I have a question that I'd like to see if you guys would know the answer to. Okay, the question is, what is the temperature that air condenses at? This is a meteorology question. So the choices are high temp, dew point temp, low temp, or freezing temp. Well, the answer is actually dew point temp, because that's the lowest that the temperature can actually get, and that's where it actually condenses.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Listen, I know you're upset, but it was just one date. And dating's like the stock market. There's ups and downs and ups. So always buy low.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with.
Welcome to Global News. I'm Sierra Holman. On Friday, February 13th in northern Mexico, at a grade A crossing, a freight train and a passenger bus collided, killing 20 people and leaving 30 injured. The cause of this crash is still unknown, but investigators think it's possible the bus driver tried to beat the train to the crossing. A Valentine's Day mall shooting plot was avoided by Canadian authorities. 2 Canadian men and 1 American woman, all obsessed with death, were planning to gun down as many people as possible with firearms at a Canadian mall before killing themselves. Officers say they received a tip about a woman who traveled from the U.S. to Nova Scotia, Canada, and she was quickly tracked down. Police say the incident did not appear to be a terrorist act, but would have had dire consequences if carried out. Coming up next is your weekly Fighting Scots Sports Report. Stay tuned.
Danse, balance la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex, Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Hello and welcome to this week's Fighting Scots Sports Report. I am Tyler Trumbauer. The wrestling team hosted third-ranked Ohio State on Sunday as part of the EAS Nutrition NWCA Wrestling Mat Mayhem. Edinboro came in as the 15th ranked team on Sunday against the Buckeyes, and it was senior day on Sunday as 8 senior wrestlers, including #1 Dave Habit, Mitchell Port, and AJ Shop, were honored before the action got underway. Corey Mines had a rough start, losing by major decision at 125, but the most anticipated match came at 141 as #1 Logan Stieber faced #2 Mitchell Port in the best matchup of the day in the nation. Stieber got the best support, winning 6-3. Dave Habit got a win at 149 for the Scots, and Vic Avery had this upcoming vicious toss against #10 Kenny Courts, to where he was 4-1. He earned a 4-1 decision overall. Unfortunately, the Scots fell 30-7. Flynn thought they could have competed better.
I thought we could have competed a little better. I mean, they have a really good team. So, I don't want to, discount that. I mean, they might have the best team in the country, good meat-wise, but I certainly think we could have competed better.
The Fighting Scots take on West Virginia on Friday night in their regular season finale. That match begins at 7 p.m. The men's basketball team had a must-win game on Saturday when 13th-ranked Indiana University of Pennsylvania visited Macomb Fieldhouse, and the Scots rose to the occasion. Fast forward to 3.2 seconds left in regulation. Edinboro clinging to a 68-67 lead when Mason steps to the free throw line, drains 2 free throws. Edinboro up 70-67. IUP calls a timeout, though. Throws a baseball pass down, caught by IUP. Jeremy Jeffers at the buzzer. Oh, you better believe it. We're going to overtime. Sheldon Brogdon was big in this one, coming off the bench for the Fighting Scots. He finished with 16 points and made this layup and the foul to give Borough a 73-72 lead after the free throw. Now, nearly same scenario. Borough up 2, 8 seconds left. Mason at the line, but he misses the first one. He was 5 for 5 on the day before this and misses the second one. IUP down 79-77. One last shot at the end of overtime to try to give it. It's going to be a drive halted by Sam Sealy-James out. Jeremy Jeffers again. This one falls short, and Edinboro holds on in this one. Pat Cleary talked about the win.
It's big for our team just because it helps us get one step closer to making the conference tournament. And that was our goal from the beginning of the year. And, and even though we'd had a bit of a bad streak with 3 losses, we had some really good practices prepared for this game. And I'm just glad that the guys can see that hard work gets results. And I was really proud for them, the way they bounced back, because, when you lose 3 in a row, it can be real easy to start pushing blame and looking for excuses. But the guys were very resilient, and I'm just proud that they were able to.
The men visit Clarion on Wednesday, have a bye on Saturday, and host Pitt Johnstown on February 25th in their regular season finale. The women's basketball team also faced a nationally ranked Crimson Hawks squad, but didn't have the same success as the men. Anya Freeland was honored before the game, scoring her 1,000th career point on Wednesday night. Lauren Hippo started things off right with this three 10 seconds into the game. She finished with 30. IUP Zane Brooks drains this three to give IUP a 15-12 lead early in the first half. Anastasia Rabachenko saw some good minutes, made this finish to make it 65-60 IUP with 9 minutes left in the contest, but despite a valiant effort, the Scots fell 91-81. The ladies will most likely finish 4th in the Western Division and host a first-round playoff game on February 28th. Before that contest, they visit Clarion on Wednesday and host UPJ on February 25th. The indoor track and field team competed in the Grand Valley State Big Meet on Friday and Saturday. The meet was split into 2 separate meets on the different days, and despite the ladies only competing in 2 events on the second day, they made a big splash. The distance medley relay finished 6th, set an NCAA provisional qualifying mark, and also set a new school record for the event. On day 1, Dietrich set another NCAA mark in the long jump as she finished 3rd. Also, Casey Jones finished 15th and set an NCAA provisional mark in the 3,000-meter run. The squad finishes up the indoor regular season this Saturday at the Kent State Open. The wheelchair basketball team competed in the University of Illinois tournament on Friday and Saturday. Borough went 2-2 over the 2 days. The Scots fell in their first contest to the University of Illinois, despite ending the game on a 7-0 scoring run. They rebounded with 2 more wins over Illini women and Southwest Minnesota State. Edinboro then fell to Missouri in the finale. Scots are 0-3 against the Tigers this season. They visit Pitt on Saturday to have their penultimate game of the regular season. That's all for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ETV Sports to stay up to date on all the latest Borough athletic happenings.
Great game, man.
Let's go get a win!
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
Listen, I know you're upset, but it was just one date. And dating's like the stock market. There's ups and downs and ups and so always buy low.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
That's all the news we have for you this week. Make sure to like us on Facebook at Edinboro TV and follow us on Twitter at Edinboro Television.
And if you have story ideas, feel free to email us at edinborotv@gmail.com. That's all we have for this week. Thanks.
Suis la cadence, on lève bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence. Dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex? Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Danse, balance sur la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.